Alright, this is Demonocalypse with Mechwarrior Online. Welcome to closed beta. NDA was lifted day or two ago. I'm not exactly sure when. Um yeah, Mechwarrior Online, Demonocalypse, Lone Wolf. First thing we do when we look at a new game is the options menu, not the logout menu. Tell you the truth, I'm so used to World of Tanks' entire setup that this just entirely feels wonky to me. I'd much prefer it if it was World of Tanks setup just because I'm used to it, but that's just me. I'm not sure if other people would have the same thing, but like I've always seen the options menu up here, so down here is kind of weird. Quit, log out, options. Fully rebindable keys. Let me just double check something. No, I can't do that yet. Okay. Now, back in MechWarrior 4, I used to have throttle up and throttle down be my up scroll and down scroll. A lot easier for me, at least. Other than that, everything is fairly common. Mouse button 1, mouse button 2, mouse button 3, mouse button 5. Full screen window. Right now, you're seeing it in 1280 by 720. That's because this menu here is not actually the same engine as the main game. Therefore, it switches to a different engine when I go to the main game. So I'm going to have to stop the recording, then restart the recording as soon as I get to the main game. Okay. Audio settings, music doesn't do anything, dialogue doesn't do anything, effects doesn't do any, does do something, a little bit of something. Truthfully, I wish they'd separate out the noises a bit more because I like hearing the footsteps of enemies, especially since it's a good indication of where they are, but hearing the guns blast off at 300 decibels is just really freaking annoying. Motion blur off. It is not off. It does not turn off. I hate motion blur in this game because it looks like ghost images all over the place. System specifications, advanced options, hit the button. Effects, low. Object detail, medium. Particles, low. Post-processing, very high. I'm not exactly sure if that does what I think it does. Shading, low. Shadows, off. Just put that on low for now. Post MSSA. This is anti-aliasing. Doesn't really work that well right now. Yes. Okay. Now, let's go to the mechs. As a free-to-play player, I am using trial mechs, and boy, are they horrid. Actually, they're not that bad. The only problem is they're not really balanced as I'd like them to be. Most of them accumulate heat so fast that it's hard to actually, well, if you're paying attention, then you won't have to worry about anything, but if you're not paying attention, then you're basically screwed. Here's the Jenner. That is the only angle I will be able to get of it because I cannot choose any other angle of it. This is the Hunchback. Well, Jenner is a light mech, 35 tons. This particular one is set up to use heat, laser-based, energy-based weapons, so it's set up with 4 medium lasers at the moment. Has 10 heat sinks, 5 tons in jump jets, or 5 jump jets total. Not really sure how that works yet. I haven't picked up a mech that actually does that. And has a standard engine of 245 horsepower, I'm guessing, or 245 cc, something like that. Excuse me. Hunchback. Medium mech, 50 tons. Right now it is set up to primarily use energy and missiles. Has 5 medium laser, 1 small laser, and 2 LRMs, long-range missile racks, firing 10 missiles per salvo. 14 heat sinks, 0 tons in jump jets. I'm not sure if it can actually mount jump jets. Has a standard engine of 200 cc. It can also mount an AMS system, but that is the AMS's anti-missile system. Get into that a bit later when I'm customizing my own mech. This is the catapult, the K2 variety, K2 meaning Cannon 2. Right now it's equipped with 2 medium lasers, 2 PPCs, particle projection cannons, and 2 machine guns. Jump jets 0 tons, heat sinks 20 tons, standard engine 260 square centimeters. It can hold 4 energy, as it is, which is kind of odd because PPCs are a hell of a lot bigger than medium lasers, so I'm not exactly sure how they fit a PPC in a slot that can fit a medium laser. That's just me, though. Machine gun, 2 ballistic and 1 AMS. None of the trial mechs are equipped with AMS. I wish they were because AMS is very, very useful. And the Atlas. 100-ton assault mech, SRM-4, large laser 2, AC-10, and LRM-15. 0 tons in jump jets, 20 tons in heat sinks, and a standard engine of 300 square centimeters. I don't think you'd actually be able to move with anything less than that. Hard points, 1 ballistic, 2 missile, 4 energy, and 1 anti-missile system. Now, let's go pop back to a different game that has, I think, all the same mechs. I know it has the Hunchback. I'm fairly certain it has. I know it has the Catapult and the Atlas. I'm not sure about the Jenner and the Hunchback, though. Let's just switch to that. I'm fairly certain I did a movie of this one. This is Mechwarrior 4 Mercenaries with the Mech Pack 3. Wrong button. Mech Lab. This is what I'm used to from Mechwarrior, just saying. But let's grab the Atlas. This is the standard Atlas from Mechwarrior 4. And there's a lot of noise in the background. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, this is a different variant. I understand that. This is what it has. This is what I'm used to. And in fact, this is partially the system they have in the new Mechwarrior Online. They have the different areas, the arm, torso, arm, head, center torso, and legs. That's what they have in the Mechwarrior Online. And they also have slots, different amount of slots for the different parts. So let's say this right arm has 4 energy slots. This arm has 4 energy slots and 2 ballistic slots. Now, different size things can go in different size packages. The PPC here can take up to 3 slots here. This is what I'm saying, what I'm heralding back to for the catapult. The PPC is way too small in the game. It doesn't take up enough room. I can kind of understand why they decided to make it only take up 1 room, however, because if you take the PPC off and put 3 medium lasers on there, you're going to end up doing more damage with less heat than you would with the PPC. The PPC, however, has much greater range. I think I have the Catapult K2 in here as well. Nope, I don't. Odd. Oh, I'm thinking of a completely different mech. Hunchback. This is the Hunchback that I currently have bought as a starter mech in Mechwarrior Online, or at least the closest variant to it. The one in Mechwarrior Online has 1 slot for ballistic in the right and left arm. The center torso does not have any slot. The head has a small 1 slot, and the right torso here has a place for an AMS. This one has a spot for an LAMS, which is a laser anti-missile system. Basically same thing, only it takes up heat instead of bullets. Better in my opinion. I'm not sure if we're actually going to get it, because I'm not sure what time frame it would be in this universe. Gun rack here. LBX AC20. As you can see, it takes up 3 slots. We only have the LBX 10, this one here, and not this one. They don't have Clan Tech yet. The LBX AC10 here in the game. Range is similar, but major thing is that it acts like a shotgun, and from what I'm reading, it's not a shotgun. It's kind of a airburst round, I guess you could say. Something like that? Yeah. Airburst round would probably be the best way to put it. Yeah. I don't think we have the Jenner. Yeah. Here, no, well, Kind of yes, kind of no. This would be similar to it, I guess. The one that's currently in game. Similar, not it. All these extra mechs were made by Mech Tech. They fairly good modelers, or at least I think so. They kind of just took what was in the game and added more stuff to it. Yeah, there's no Jenner in here, so I can't really point. Oh, here it is. That's not the right Jenner. What's even worse, it doesn't seem like these things are actually in order. Swear there was a Jenner in here. Oh well, let's go back to Mechwarrior Online. This isn't the right one. All right, back in Mechwarrior Online, I'm going to take a look at my my Hunchback, whatever its primary variant is. I call it Tommy. Okay, now hardpoint restrictions. This is kind of like that slot system we saw back in Mechwarrior 4, except things don't really line up in terms of size. Like, one energy is good enough for one medium laser. I have no idea if Mechwarrior 4 is canon or not. I don't really think it is, but it's the one I grew up with. So, one medium laser. I can fit, if I so choose to take off a lot of extra stuff. Well, technically, yes and no. PPCs still take up a lot of slots, which doesn't make any sense to me. Something's not right here. I think I already quizzed myself over this at one point, but I can't remember why I did what answer I actually came up with. Because the PPC takes up 3 slots. Therefore, this number is incorrect. It should be 8. 8, yes, it should be 8. Because that should be 6, that should be 2, that should be 8. Okay. So it's still it still works pretty much the same as Mechwarrior 4 did. I'm not sure what everyone's bitching about. But some of this stuff really kind of doesn't make sense. Like, I showed you the LBX 10 AC, the shotgun, if you will, and it took up 3 slots, or weapon restriction slots. My bad. Weapon restrictions. It took up 2 in Mechwarrior 4. It takes up 1. Wait a second. Okay. I'm thinking wrong again. Slots, vertical, not this. So, yeah, I'm confusing myself again. Because some of this stuff just doesn't make sense. I swear that some of these take up more hardpoint restrictions than others do. I thought I had that happen to me once. Nope. Hardpoint restrictions means you can stuff as many or as large of guns as you want to in that spot so long as they'll fit. Therefore, I could fit 3 machine guns in there, or 3 of anything really, so long as they fit in the space. And I don't like that. I think, depending on the size of the item, it should not be able to fit in there. Because I know a Gauss rifle is a heck of a lot longer than an AC-10 is. I know it's longer than an AC-2 is. I don't think a Gauss rifle should be able to fit in here, nor an AC-20. But that's really just me. Okay, now, 1 energy hardpoint restriction means I can fit 1 energy weapon in there. 3 ballistic. 1 energy. 1 AMS. Can't fit anything in there. I can fit 1 energy in here. I don't have anything in there. I was experimenting with the flamer, but I really didn't find any benefit to using it. Now, in the legs, you usually find hip actuators and, well, hip and actuators. And heat sinks. Very important to put heat sinks in the leg because if you're standing in water, that's where you want your heat sinks to be. Gets rid of heat quite a bit faster, in fact. And then ammo. I cannot stress how much, like, the ammo system just doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense to me. Well, mostly the fact is that I got an XL engine, which it doesn't stand for extra large, it stands for extra light. Just go to this area here. As you can see along the side here, you got standard engines, which are take up 6 slots and 16.5 tons. That is heavy. Now if I go down to the XL engine 6260, I get 12 slots and 10 tons. Takes up a heck of a lot more room, but it's lighter. Quite a bit lighter, in fact. Well, 6 tons at least. And the thing is, it doesn't just take up room in the center torso, it also takes up room in the sides. Now, if you have an XL engine and one of the sides get taken out, you are gone. And in fact, one of the major issues I also have with this is that critical hits don't really make sense to me. There is a critical system. It really only affects the machine guns, though, for whatever reason. Basically, you can get a hole in your armor, and then certain parts can be removed, and then little bullets can go in there and start breaking stuff. And if something gets broken that's important, well, you're kind of screwed, unfortunately. What else? What else am I thinking about? Okay. Let's just go through the weapons here. Medium laser, small laser, ER, large laser, ER, PPC, flamer, large laser, PPC, large pulse laser, medium pulse laser, small pulse laser, and tag. Tag is useless. Not. It's useless if you're carrying more than one. Tag, you only need one to be effective. Put it in your cockpit or something. If I just took off like one of my pieces of case here and then put it on my cockpit, I'd be fine. Basically all the laser weapons, unlimited ammo, high amounts of heat. You can overheat very quickly with them. AMS, we already talked about that. Anti-missile system uses ammo to destroy missiles in midair before they hit you. Also protects people around you. If you have enough people with AMS in a small area, no missiles will actually be able to hit you until you run out of ammo. Excuse me. Now you have to load up ammo independently of the weapon in this game. I preferred Mechwarrior 4's function of doing it. Just put on tons on top of the weapon and you're fine. Of course, that once in a while didn't make sense because you were carrying way too much ammo for the current weapon at times. I've seen that happen. LBX 10X AC, already said. Shotgun, not a shotgun. But the thing you got to know about this game is that people are arguing over what the numbers actually mean. AC2 means it fires one round that does 2 damage. AC5 means it fires one round that does 5 damage, and so on and so forth. Biggest thing is, there was one argument I heard of that a guy was saying that he would rather have AC20 fire 10 small shots in sequence rather than one large shot that did 20 damage. There are weapons that do either or in the BattleTech universe. AC20, the one we currently have in the game, fires one large round rather than 10 small ones. And I'd always thought that it had well, actually, Mechwarrior 4 kind of trained me that way, that it is doing that much. It is a larger round that does more damage. The only really wonky thing that I don't like about the BattleTech universe, and World of Tanks does this too, is that they reduced range for balance reasons. The machine gun is characterized in most of the literature I've read as 3 50 caliber machine guns wired together to fire in sequence. Now, a 50 caliber machine gun, the current one we have nowadays, is lethal to a human at, I think it was 1.5 kilometers. The range in the game here is 90 meters. Who wants to say useless? I do. Just completely and utterly useless. I mean, I can kind of imagine lasers having only 90 meters of range, but it could be one of two things. Either they're still lethal to humans at long range, or they just can't penetrate armor at long range. The thing is, however, that this armor is ablative, meaning that as it takes damage, it slowly wears away, and then once there's no more armor, then you damage the internals. And once internals are damaged, well, you start paying more and more for repairs. Now, gyro, you can't do anything about the gyro. I wish if I remember correctly, there was some sort of gyro you could buy in the BattleTech universe that was better, an advanced gyro. I'm not sure if they'll introduce that into the game. The other thing is double heat sinks, which what was it? Same weight, double the price, and double the heat relieved. Something like along those lines. I can't remember exactly. I read some of the books, not that bad, but a lot of them are so clusterfucky, it's not even funny. Armor, you can put certain amounts of tons on different parts of the mech. Each leg, like, this is centered on fifth ton increments, if I remember correctly, like 0.02 ton increments. And we can just pull a half one off. Yeah, it's like 0.04. This is actually, it makes no freaking sense how much armor it pulls off at any one time. It looks like 0.35 or 0.035 or something like that. But it just doesn't make sense to me, at least. Um, thinking. Oh, let's stay in the mech lab. Cancel. Yes, I don't want to save any changes. Great new mech. Commando. Useless. Well, okay. The first mech I bought was actually this commando right here. I'm not too. I don't like using missiles in any game really, so I kind of stick to beam and ballistics in this game, energy and ballistics in this game. First commando I bought loaded it up with a medium pulse laser and a small pulse laser and a flamer. Flamers don't do a lot of damage. What they do is overheat enemy mechs and your mech. It is very useful against heavy mechs, Atlas, Awesome, stuff like that. Um, can I actually? Yeah, I can buy an Awesome. All right. Um, yeah, that's basically it. Missiles, I can use them. I don't like to use them. They just don't feel quite right to me. They never did. Um, okay. Right now, I'd be able to buy one of the light mechs here. I don't want to because I'm going after our Jenner. This Jenner here, in fact. Probably going to load it up with an XL engine as soon as possible just to make sure I can get more tonnage to other things that actually matter, primarily the weapons or the heat sinks. Because heat sinks are good. They are very good. After that, I'm probably going to go after Dragon. Probably the one that's based on energy and ballistics. I know there was one more. Probably this one here. One of these two. Can load up a Gauss rifle on that. See how they react to it. Funny thing is, dragons are fucking fast. I mean, you look at the Hunchback is a medium, 50 tons. It goes 64.8 kilometers an hour. The Dragon at 60 tons goes 81 kilometers an hour. That is freaking fast. And the Catapult at 65 tons goes 64. Now this is the K2, the exact same one that we get as a trial mech. Don't like it. It could be better. I'll say that it could be better. Yeah. So the weapon restrictions here actually refer to what can be linked there rather than the slots they take up. I'd much rather it be how many heart slots you have in that area for the weapon, like in Mechwarrior 4, because that makes more sense to me. Because if you hook a PPC up, like theoretically I could hook up 4 PPCs on this thing, weight allowing me to. I don't think that weight would actually allow me to, but I could if I actually wanted to try to fuck myself over. And right now, if I could get this, I'd take off both machine guns, all the ammo, and just load up with heat sinks because that's really the only thing this thing needs. Then the awesome is, or was awesome back in the day. This is the variant you had in Mechwarrior 4, 3 PPCs, small laser. If you were really, really good at managing your heat, you could even load up with something even better than that. I usually load it up with ER PPCs. Atlas, the heaviest tonnage we have in game at present. I haven't really looked at them because they're so bark and expensive. Probably go after the one with the least amount of missiles. And you can, or I can load up this one. 4 energy, 1 ballistic, 1 missile, 2 anti-missile systems. 1 on each shoulder, presumably. That would be very useful. Very useful indeed. Okay, this has dragged on long enough. Let's grab my Jenner. I'm gonna have to stop the recording because this really doesn't like the engine change. Alright, this is Caustic Valley on the volcanic planet. Who gives a royal rip? As you can see, it gets basic player information on the screen. At the top, you'll see how kills to kills. As the numbers go up, that's how many kills the team has. You have a timer, and you have 2 bars. Both of those bars are capture limits on the... There's no one... Oh, good. One person's moving. We're all light mechs. Holy freaking shit. I've never seen this happen before. I always don't. Yeah, we're all light mechs. Criminy. Okay. Lower left-hand corner of the screen, you will see an armor meter. That is the armor on my mech. Center bottom screen, you will see radar, heat meter. Heat meter is in red. Speed limit, speedometer, and a little bar that goes down as my jump jets go off. And as you can see, my shadow kind of moves along with me. Not really. I can't really see. I can look around a little bit freely, but in all honesty, the Jenner is not my mech. Clear left. No, it is not. There's a Jenner right in front of us. Spotting target for ally. Secondary target located. Okay. Now, throttle is pretty much set and go. You just go... Okay, I knocked someone over. Okay, now you'll see me bouncing around for no apparent reason. Or did they fix that? Die! Ah, friggin' A. Stupid commando. Kill assist. Got 200 and... So many Jenners! Okay, each time my view reorients, I am bouncing around. So much heat! Ran into an enemy. Yes, that's basically what you gotta do as a light mech. Keep on running people over and hope your allies compensate. Overheating. This is what happens. Now, I can either wait for my mech to reactivate or I can override. I'm not going to override because I really need to bring my heat down. If you do not bring your heat down, your engine will explode and you will die. It's as simple as that. Now, the reason why I said earlier about the heat sinks needing to be in the legs is because water. Water is a valuable resource in this universe. Why? Well, mostly because it really cools off your mechs when you're almost cooked. And as you can see, bouncing around. Damn it, freaking Raven. Oh yeah, sure. Hey, it's not my fault you bounced in front of me. I'm not even sure if... Oh! I landed on top of something. Now, landing on top of someone does do damage to them. However, it can also knock you over and them over, which is a slight issue. And as you can see, they're bouncing around. Is bouncing around a good thing? No, it is not. It is annoying. Knocked him over, knocked myself over. And we're both bouncing around. And as you can see, there's motion blur issues. I'm only getting around 25 frames a second, but motion blur issues still persist. Heat is a big issue in this game. I'll say it now. I don't think they modeled it quite right, but that's personal preference more than anything. Get in the water, people! Time to party in the water! Now, because the normal laser weapons are beams, you have to keep them on the enemy at all times to do maximum damage. The medium laser isn't quite right for that. Why am I still... Oh, there we go, finally. I'm in the water, for Christ's freaking sake. I should be cooling off faster, not slower. It's not like I'm in a... Well, even if that was a hot spring, it'd still be cooler than my reactor is running right now. Now, capture attempts on your base do fall short. Do falter when you're in it. So if you're inside the circle when your base is being capped, it automatically stops capping it. And there we go. Win, capture, kill assist, damage done, spotting assist, total, no experience. You only get experience with owned mechs, and I don't like that. Because it's not our choice to be in these things. Well, it kind of is, because we could be giving them money for this. What did I say? This game does not like being recorded when it's switching engines. Yeah. I will probably buy new garage slots later, but I'm not going to be paying the money for anything else. Once there's more customization options like different paint jobs, stuff like that, I may make an investment in that. Right now, though, no. Okay. Now, okay. Since this is a trial mech, I don't have to pay maintenance on it. I don't have to pay for ammunition. I don't have to pay for repairs. I don't have to do any of that crap, which is good on the trial basis. Bad thing is that the trial mechs are poorly optimized, is the best way I can put it. I'm going to bring out Tommy, who is basically heavy ballistic right now, I guess you could say. Again, engine change BS bullshit. We are using the CryEngine here. We should be able to have the menu and the game in the same freaking program. Fortunately, they still haven't figured out how to do that. I mean, the main reason I like this game over World of Tanks right now is that I have more guns. There's more tactical options. I can resist being fired at. I can see the people firing at me, for Christ's sake. They're perfectly visible, even at a kilometer distance. I can still see them. They do that to World of Tanks where I can still see the enemy, even if I technically can't see them. If they're still visible to my eyes, if not the machines, I would love that. Just absolutely love that. Unfortunately, they'll never do it.